Hi there, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Make Art Don't Starve podcast. I'm your host, Kelsey.
And I'm your other host, Al, and today we are very excited to be joined by Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hello, guys. I'm very excited to join you today.
Sorry. Hold on.
Just another day. Okay, Katie, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course. I'm Katie, also known as By Katie Mai. I grew up in New Jersey and I'm currently residing in Philadelphia. I've been posting about my art journey online for about 2 years now, mainly on Instagram and YouTube, and I just make fun, cute illustrations using mostly digital art on Procreate and also painting sometimes with gouache, whatever I'm in the mood for.
Yeah, we both absolutely adore your art. I've been loving your videos lately. The vibes are so good. Absolutely immaculate.
Thank you.
One
I
thing
actually
that I've always
have
loved...
some of your washi tape literally on my desk somewhere. I've been trying to find it, and I swear to God, I have half of my prints on my wall hung up by your washi tape.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Yeah,
it is so cute. Yeah, and all your shop products are so good. One thing that I love about your art is there's this specific vibe. It feels very much like it's inspired by something in your life. I don't know how to describe this. I've never noticed this with anyone's art before. But it feels very you. It feels very raw. And it feels like there must be... What I see when I look at your art is it's inspired by, where you live or location. It seems very, New England area. Is that true? Is that accurate? Are you inspired by anything around you?
No, yeah, I definitely think that's completely accurate. I feel like all of my art is directly inspired by myself, my thoughts while I'm creating it, all of that gets put into the piece. I am really inspired by things I do, places I go, things I read. So yeah, all of that somehow gets mixed up into the one piece at the time. It's just a direct, what's the word? Direct state of my mind.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's something that a lot of artists strive to, I know that's what I strive to do. I'm so relying on references. I would love to be able to just take my day, take the world around me and put it on paper and not have to worry about references and finding references. I love that about your art. I think it is just so you can feel that it's inspired and it's coming from you, and I love that.
It has a really nice whimsical element to it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I really try to incorporate whimsicalness into it, childlike wonder into it, I guess you could say. But yeah.
When did you start making art? When did you start thinking that this was something that you wanted to pursue?
Yeah, so I have been making art ever since I was little. I think last year I found a little journal in an old box in the garage, and it had my journal entry from when I was 5, and it said, "I would be delighted to be an artist when I grew up." And I thought that was so funny because I never really thought about that while I was growing up. So I didn't really have a formal art education until I went to college. I wanted to go in for film, actually. So I went to school for film, and I was actually, I don't think I'm going to make any money in film. So I chose psychology, of all things, to major in. Yeah. And then I was what am I going to do with that now? But yeah, a year after that, I was ooh, I still have that little voice in my head that's you want to be an artist. So I applied to the Bachelor of Art program. It wasn't a fine arts program, but I was able to take some drawing, printmaking classes then. And then the pandemic happened my last year of school. That's when I started posting, and I started teaching myself digital art. And then now I'm here. I was making YouTube videos out of boredom, and it grew from there.
Gotcha. That's awesome. I love that you did it out of boredom. That's really fun.
It's also really similar to both of our stories, right? You have degrees in psychology and neuroscience.
No way.
I also just didn't think that art was a viable thing, so I chose political science. We're all peas in the same pod.
Yeah, we're all same person deep down.
Literally the same person.
Yeah, it's funny how so many artists have that similar story of I liked it as a kid, but I didn't know if I could, make money off it. I didn't know if I could do it. I never really thought about it, so I did. It's always science or math. And they do something completely opposite in school, and and then I did art. I ended up in the same exact place that I wanted to when I was 5.
Right, exactly.
So are there any artists in your family that you kind of were encouraged by? Was your family super into you pursuing art?
No, there's not really anyone in my family who is an artist. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like my family was really encouraging of it, though. Like, they were always encouraging about my hobbies. Like, I remember I had like a little Etsy store selling friendship bracelets, and my mom would help me like
Oh,
pack orders for that. So they were very encouraging, but like all like Vietnamese parents, they're like, you need a traditional job when you have to be a doctor, stuff like that. So, especially my grandma.
mm,
Yeah, no, they've always been super encouraging about it. And yeah, even now, I think they're a little bit doubtful, but I think it's just them playing like devil's advocate.
being
Like,
stubborn.
yeah, yeah.
It's really nice growing up. I get sometimes, I don't know if you get these comments. I'll get comments of people being like, how do I convince my parents that I can go to art school? Like, they don't want me to pursue art. I'm like, man, I was so lucky to have parents who were encouraging of me, like, at least doing art at the very least. Like, I never felt that they disapproved in any way, and it's a really nice experience to let, like, to have parents who were like, yeah, that's awesome, like, do what you want to do, because I can't imagine having parents who were like, no, don't express yourself creatively.
Right, right. And I think, well, I had to like compromise and be like, oh, I'm also doing psychology. Look,
Right.
but they like after they saw me doing art a little bit, my brother just went to school for game design, so it's like they're more accepting of it now. I think they realize it's
Yeah.
like actually a viable career path. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure they're like super proud to see you like growing on YouTube and like you've had like brand deals. That's got to be really exciting for them to see you
Yeah.
like making it work.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh my God, what are you gonna do with that? I'm like, I swear it's working. Like, I swear. You will
I
see.
can do it.
Yeah.
You can definitely do it though. Like I fully believe in you. You have the makings of such like a successful you're like okay, so you said you were going to go into school for cinematography. I can definitely see that in your videos because they're so
Absolutely.
well made.
Yeah.
Like it's so impressive. It's always crazy when you see someone relatively new, like somewhat like you started making videos somewhat new. And like right off the bat, they were such high quality. It's so impressive, but now I understand why.
Thank you. I could say the same thing to the both of you. Like, your channel is
Oh,
top tier.
thank you.
My videos had such a long, ugly phase. I feel like it's really like only in the
Me
past
too.
like year or so, like I really started to like feel comfortable like with them existing on the internet forever. Like that idea,
Yeah.
oh, like people are just gonna see this moment for like the rest of time. And yeah, no, I mean your videos are amazing. They're so well shot. Like I often like watch art YouTube like for work, basically, like trying to like think about video ideas and like the trends and like get ideas for like shot angles and like good like interesting kind of like ways to film stuff. And people like Valerie Lynn and you and like Ashley King and like Lee Ellickson and stuff like break down the videos to be like, oh, that's like a really interesting shot that I want to recreate. Like let me take a screenshot of this so I can like try my hand at making my own version. Just that existing is like it's really cool. Like there's just so much creativity that's out there for the possibility of like filming art such that like the video itself becomes like a new work of art too. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool way to think about it, actually, how like the video itself is another form of art. And I love that you said that you like watch videos to like study the shots, because it's kind of like the same thing when you're like going to school for film. You're kind of like studying off like movies and cinema. So yeah, that's like a really good tip for people who are making YouTube videos, is like study from other
Yeah.
YouTubers.
For sure. I feel like that's definitely like, if I hadn't enjoyed art YouTubers before I started making videos, like, I would have been I feel like the first stage was me just copying other people, because I would have been so lost without that. I would have no idea what to do. I would be too embarrassed to do anything. If it weren't for the fact that I had people I looked up to like, replicate, I never would have had the guts to do anything.
Yeah.
So speaking of your YouTube videos, what is your favorite, like, kind of video to make?
Yeah, okay. Favorite kind of video. If you look back on my channel, like you will see, like in the beginning, I was uploading like these little montages, like from 8 years ago, like so long ago. I really liked doing that. I would get like 10 views on them, but like it was such a good time. And I feel like I kind of forgot about those videos as I was making like vlogs and stuff. And I think with my most recent video, I did like the travel sketchbook montage, and I kind of brought a little bit of that into it. So that was like one of my favorite videos to make. Like I love making studio vlogs and vlogging, but like there's just something about the process of it and like the editing of it like I don't enjoy as much. I really like capturing other people rather than myself, which is kind of funny just because I am filming myself all the time.
Right.
But yeah, I do like making like those little fun videos just for the memories.
That travel vlog was probably one of my favorite videos from you. I was so just stunning. I was jealous the entire time. You did such a good job editing. All the shots were so great. I can see what you mean about like the montage moments, and I think it is more fun to edit those because you get to look at like the beautiful footage and you get to make it like look really beautiful rather than just having to hear yourself talk like in a vlog. So I totally get what you mean, but that video was absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
This is a totally random question, totally off topic.
Yeah.
But one thing that I have noticed in your videos, you have that alphabet poster.
Yeah, like over
somewhere on your wall. Yeah, why is there no letter J?
That's actually so funny because I didn't notice that until someone else commented on one of my videos, and they were like, why is there no J on that poster? And then I looked at it and I was like, oh wait, there isn't like a J on it. I guess like the designer was like, fuck it, like it doesn't fit.
Symmetry.
Yeah, like it doesn't fit. J isn't needed. It's like the worst letter of the alphabet. So I literally have no idea, honestly.
I was wondering if you had noticed. It's every time I see it, I'm like, there's no J, and it drives me crazy. But
as soon as you noticed, you couldn't unsee it.
Exactly. But for the design purposes, like for making it symmetrical, I understand.
Yeah, they were like, no one will ever notice.
I know,
but we did.
We noticed. So you said that you were doing wheel throwing, right?
Yes.
How's that going?
Oh my god. Okay. Let's see.
There's some tea.
It has been going okay, I would say. I think I just like started watching so many people do ceramics like so perfectly that I was like, yeah, it's gonna be so easy. But no, I'm like still like a noob. But yeah, I think I just need to go a little bit more. A lot of times I'm getting really into it and then I get nervous and then it just like falls off. But yeah, I'm just hoping to do more. And then
is it a good extension of like I always feel like I like to have an extra creative hobby. Do you feel like this is something that you really want to pursue as part of your overall like creative career, or is this something that you're going to keep as like a fun side project, like a fun stimulating activity?
I think for now, like I'm still kind of bad at it, so it's kind of fun to just keep it as a hobby just because it's so different from everything else I do. Like I'm not really a 3D art person, so yeah, it's like super fun just having a separate hobby from like illustration and everything. But yeah, I would love to make it like part of my shop eventually, but I don't see that happening until I'm like sure it's 100% good.
I'm sure it won't take long. You seem like you could get a handle of it pretty easily.
Thank you.
I know 3D art, like I had to take a 3D art class in high school. I was so bad at it. Like I feel like there are some people who are meant for 3D art. I am not one of them.
Yes.
I am not one of them.
Do you follow Uncomfy Co? She makes like really cute clay things and they look so perfect. I'm like, how do you do that?
No, but
maybe.
Hold on, let me
I'm
look
looking
at
them up
her.
right now. Yes, I do. The frog things, the frog
Yes.
so
Yes.
adorable, so adorable.
Oh my god, they're so perfect.
I know,
Little
they're like
keycaps.
so
Oh my
perfect.
god, we're gonna have to
Wow.
attach photos of this.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. See, I feel like if I were starting wheel throwing and I was comparing myself to this, I would not be confident.
They're so cute.
They're perfect. How does she get them so perfect?
Right? I'm like, they're so round and little and nice.
Amazing.
Even when I see like people sculpting like faces and they get it so smooth, I'm like, how do you? Every time I've ever used clay, it's so bumpy and textured and disgusting. I don't understand. I
think it has a lot to do with the clay body that you're working with, right? Like different kinds of clay will like be very different. Like I know that like porcelain, for example, is like a really different kind of like feel than like regular stone clay or something. And like there are so many different kinds of clay. And like I know just enough to know that I don't know anything.
Yeah. With wheel throwing, is that like a separate class that you're doing for funsies, or is that part of you're still in like a art school?
Yeah, so it's like a separate class. It's really cool.
Okay.
Like Philadelphia has a bunch of really cool places for artists. Like there's a really nice art scene. So there is like a new like ceramic studio that just opened up, and they offer classes, or you could go in for open studio. So yeah, my class just ended. So I'm trying to go into more for like open studio to like practice myself, but just actually putting the time in and like going there and practicing is what I'm finding difficult. But yeah, in 2 months you'll see me throw in like so many mugs, I bet.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah. You said that it's like a great like local art scene. Are you in any way involved with the local art scene? How have you found that going?
Yeah, honestly, everyone, all the artists I met here are so nice. There are like so many like arts and crafts fairs. I'm doing my first one next month. I'm super excited. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. It's like a little bar crawl situation. So like there's like artists set up at each bar, and I'm like really excited for that. But yeah, everyone's so sweet. Yeah, I'm still pretty new to the scene. If there are any Philadelphia artists listening out there, like feel free to hit me up.
I feel like getting into like the local scene, especially when you're so used to being on the internet, it's so difficult because it's like one, especially after the pandemic, it's like I don't know how to socialize anymore. I don't know how to like meet people, especially not now. Like I never knew how, but especially not now. And it's really hard to like, even I know like my area definitely has a really like lively like art scene, but like I'm so scared. Like I don't know what to do. Like I don't know how to like find markets. Because I really want to start that. Another thing that I really want to do is like we have a lot of tourist shops because it's Florida. It's like coastal. And I'm sure Philly is very similar. I really want to put like my products like in little stores.
Yeah.
But I'm so scared to go talk to any stores about that.
Email.
And be like, hey. Yeah, true.
Email.
Just never see someone in person.
Yeah, no, email, seriously. There's this one plant store around here, and actually one of the girls on Instagram, she follows me. She works at like a local cafe here, and she was like, she's also an artist. She was doing like a little collab with a local plant store, and she was like, yeah, like they do each month they have like a featured artist. You're allowed to put some of your stuff in there. And I think even from meeting people on Instagram, you could find a lot of local stuff that you might not have found if you were just walking around. So yeah, don't doubt email and Instagram DMs.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get on that for sure.
I feel like people always assume that you have to like have a huge following or whatever to like make a living as an artist online, but really it's just like being willing to investigate and then capitalize on opportunities when they're presented to you, and like stuff like that. Like you might not need like a huge following for, you might just like need to know them or like show up and say hi, and like there are so many opportunities that exist out there if you're willing to go and look.
No, that was so weird. I thought my phone died too, but it's plugged in. So I was like, what just happened? I think the app just crashed.
Okay, well,
I guess I could start my answer over again.
Yeah, if you want to, whatever you want to do.
Literally whatever
I don't even
works,
remember what I was saying. I was like, oh my god, what? They're not going to know how to contact me to come back. Take 2 of this answer.
You were talking about sponsors and like negotiating, and you were saying that like if they're gonna lowball you, probably shouldn't work with them anyway.
Oh yeah, don't work with them.
Yeah, okay, so I really think that you should, when you're talking about rates and stuff, you should go in with a higher rate than you would usually, and then negotiate down, like have them talk you down. Because I used to, like before I knew what I was worth, even at like 10,000 subscribers, like you might not think that's a lot, but like it is worth something. I would take deals if someone was sending me something for free, and like I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd love to post about that, like it's really cute, like, but they're scamming you kind of.
Oh yeah, I think the best way to do that actually, if they want to gift you something, is to be like, hey, like I would love to receive it because I haven't tried this before. You know, use that as a basis of maybe working together like for a fee in the future. But like I'm not gonna give you free advertising. I'm making a commercial. I'm gonna get paid for the effort of making the commercial, and that's not like the product that I'm making the commercial for as payment. That's like not okay. Yeah, I think like every brand is like a little bit different when it comes to that, and that like there are so many different ways to do a sponsorship. People like feel like people don't really know about all of the different things that a brand might want. Like they might want you to create ads for them that are gonna be like on Instagram, like paid ads. They might want more signups. They might just want like more awareness that they exist. I think like it takes like some people like 7 times like seeing something before they actually are like invested enough to buy it. And that's like obviously like not really like a trackable metric for like an engagement thing of like trying to calculate a brand's like ROI or something, but like it's still like an important thing to consider. That's actually all the questions that we had. So if you like had anything that you wanted to ask us, like pick our brains about, you're welcome to do that. Like totally open.
Oh, yes, actually, I would love to hear more about how you organize your own like finances with having multiple streams of income as an artist. I'd love to pick your brain on that.
Yeah, I guess I'll start first. I'm really bad at like keeping it all organized in terms of like the finances. Like I use Wingspan for like accounting, and that like tells me like the total, and then like I can see all my business expenses and like income in there. But because like I accept payment to my online shop from both PayPal and Stripe, and then I get paid out like every day or something or every week from both of those. So it can be kind of a hassle to calculate it like in Wingspan, but I keep track of it all in a Notion spreadsheet. I just keep track of it in like a really easy way. And then at the end of the year, when I file taxes, I just like take all the totals and do the business expenses and like sort it all. And like, because we're artists that are YouTubers and like work from home, we can expense like a lot, which is really nice. Like,
yeah, we can.
Clothes that we wear on camera, haircuts, nail polish, like, you want new glasses? That's a business expense, baby. And like all of that stuff is
every
like
art supply you've ever bought.
Yes, like your desk, your chair, the lunch that you had for work so you could work overtime, like there, that's a business expense. So that's awesome. But that's how I track everything. It's pretty simple. And like Wingspan's really nice that it lets you send like free invoices. It makes like filing taxes easier too. It's like a great like all around thing for freelancers. They also have like healthcare advocacy and like legal help that you can get through them for free too, which is really nice. But yeah, that's how I do it personally. It's a really lo-fi, easy way of just like, I write the totals down in a spreadsheet.
You're already one step ahead of me.
Yeah, I made my own like Excel spreadsheet, like with all like the formulas and whatever, just to keep track of like all my income and my expenses. But when one thing that I've been learning and thinking about when it comes to like diversifying your income streams and being able to support yourself as an artist is absolutely like diversifying. One thing that I get a surprising amount of money from like commissions, and so one thing I'm trying to do is do turnover for commissions a lot faster. I saw this girl's Instagram reel, and she was like doing like a monthly income report, and it was like AdSense, YouTube, or AdSense, Instagram, and her shop, and like she got like $2,000 from her shop, and I was like, geez, what does she sell? And it was just stickers. So I'm trying to work on like upping like my stickers and thinking about like different kinds of products that I can sell in my shop, like small easy products in my shop. But I definitely think like one thing that I've been really trying to focus on is just thinking about as many easy things that, not easy, but like passive things that I can do to have that like steady income, because like if I like for some reason like can't make AdSense or whatever like one month, I don't want to be like totally screwed.
Yeah.
So like I've been thinking about just like getting as a nice like blanket and then building up on specific income streams that I want to prioritize like later. Or like next. That's like what I've been thinking about. But there was just something that like really scared me, and I was like, I need to be secure in my money. I need to be secure.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing. Like that's what I've been focusing on.
That's valid.
Just trying to find as many things that I can do to like have a steady income stream.
I feel
which
that
is
way,
easier said than done.
I feel that way about like prints and stuff too. Like I have spent so long procrastinating on like having a physical online shop, like where I sell like physical products, like not an online shop where I sell physical products, just because like I have been moving around so much and like doing so many things, and like also I'm just like I get a lot of anxiety of like going to the post office. I know it's like a really weird thing. And like I already like have the prepaid package like labels. Like I'm already good to go. I just have to like drop it off and then leave. But like the idea of interacting with someone, no, absolutely not. Cannot do that.
No, you're all good. All you have to, I usually just drop them off. Like there's like a little window, like you just put all your stuff in there, you're all good.
Like I'm totally aware that like I probably won't have to interact with someone, but the idea of just like being like a physical like thing that like exists that someone could like feasibly interact with is like it's like I don't want to be observed.
Yeah, that's so funny because for me, the post office is the one time that I regularly leave my house. I love going to the post office. It's the only time I get out. It's the only time I see people. So like I'm like, post office, let's go.
And I'm like, yes, I can finally like leave after a whole week of being in my room.
Yeah,
like
I have a reason to put on a cute outfit. Like I can see the outside.
I think maybe I was just like hit on like one too many times in a post office that now I just like don't want to be there. But yeah, so I've been thinking about like print on demand stuff and like trying to find like a lot of print on demand places are like kind of like bad quality and like weird and like I don't want to work with them. But I managed to find one that like ships all over the world, is super transparent with their pricing, has like low flat rate shipping, great quality for like their giclées, like archival stuff, like archival papers, like good like quality, and like they're called the printspace.co.uk or something like that. The idea of having that and just like having prints that could run in the background while I like travel or like take a week off, I don't have to print any orders, or like move across the country again for like what feels like the 6th time in the past like 2 years. I can just like do that and I don't have to worry about it. That's really nice. I like everything to be passive as much as possible just because like I really struggle with time management. That's what like drove my question earlier about time management for you, Katie, just because like I struggle so much with like doing the things that I should be doing. And like I'm inconsistent on YouTube, for example, like I don't post every week. And like stuff like that. But like I feel like adding more responsibility onto my plate, having to pack orders, which I don't love doing in the first place, would just like kind of hurt me in the long run. And like as my audience grows, I don't want to have to package like orders for an entire week like Lee Ellickson does. Like I don't find that an enjoyable thought. So outsourcing right from the get-go for me was like a really great way to consider doing things. And I'm hoping to like have prints launch in like maybe like late October-ish. I have to get like some good pieces that I'm proud of. I have some in the works right now, but I want to make some more art and then do that. And then from there, it's just kind of doubling down on stuff, you know? Like that's the really great part of YouTube is like it allows like so many doors to be opened for you in terms of like affiliate marketing and sponsorships and like AdSense and Patreon. And then like you can have that great foundation you can build on top of with other stuff like children's books or like art fairs or like, you know, a physical products in your online shop. And you're just like decreasing your overall risk because you have that great foundation.
And I think one more question for you guys. Like as you both were talking right now, like it just seems like we all do like a little bit things like differently. Like you're doing commissions, you want to do print on demand. I sell physical products. It's so cool like how like there's so many different options.
Yeah.
And like even with that, like how all our YouTube videos are all like art channels, but they're all very different like topic. I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you feel like boxed into what you are currently doing? Like, do you feel like you have to keep making the same type of video, or are you like experimenting with different types of videos a little bit more? Like, what's your process for like figuring out what videos like you want to make?
Yeah. I guess I'll go first. I do and don't. I do and don't feel boxed in. I feel like I'm in a great place with my channel that I haven't accidentally like niched myself anywhere. I definitely have noticed that like my videos have to have art in them for anyone to like care, which is like that's fine because that's what I wanted to do. Like I felt like of the limited amount of people that I watched before I started making videos, I felt like there were a lot of people who were making art content, but there wasn't a lot of art, and I want to see the art. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just make the videos, and so that's what I want to do. So I'm fine if that's like the only thing that people want to watch. But I don't really feel pressed. Like I'll make videos that I know won't get views, but it's just like something that I want to make, and like that's fine with me. So I don't feel super boxed in. I don't feel like I'm niched down in any like bad way. I feel like I'm like right where I want to be in terms of like the videos that I'm making and who's watching them. I feel like I found my target audience, which is awesome. But I feel that pressure sometimes of like, if I don't make this exact kind of video, like for my sketchbook tours always do really well. If I don't have a sketchbook tour out on time, like my channel's gonna die. Like if I don't have like those things that are, like there are certain things that are like vital to my channel, and if I can't keep making them, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. So there's that aspect to it. But overall, like I don't feel super boxed in. I don't feel like limited with what I have to make. If maybe down the line, like if I ever want to change what I do, I probably would be a little screwed. But for right now, like I think I'm making exactly what I'm wanting to make, which is really nice. It's a really good feeling to not worry about, like I'm not passionate about what I do. But of course, like the YouTube algorithm, every time I think I like have a handle on it, it's like, just kidding, no one's gonna watch this one.
Yeah.
So even if I'm not like, even if I'm doing exactly what I think is going to do well, because it's exactly like my last video that did well, sometimes it still doesn't do well. I'm learning to let that go a little bit. But otherwise, I feel good about what I'm doing.
I've kind of had the opposite experience. Like I feel like for a longest time I was making videos and people didn't want to see the art, and now they finally do. And now I'm getting like a lot of hate comments being like, where's the art, Kelsey? Like, you were talking about business and entrepreneurship and marketing, and like, I don't know what your art looks like. And that's because when I did post that, you didn't watch them. So what do you actually want? I think you're lying to me. Yeah, so I did feel like I was boxed in a little bit, and I've talked about that a lot in my videos recently, how like I'm trying to like experiment more deliberately, but like it's hard because the videos where I do experiment just tend to not do well. And then I have to just like experiment anyway and like continue to experiment anyway, even though I know they're not going to do well. So it's kind of a hard decision to make. Like, it's tough hearing that people want to see more of your work and then you make that for them and they're like, well, not like that. And it's like, what do you actually want from me? Just because like you're getting this feedback, but like it doesn't actually feel like they really mean that feedback in the actionable sense. So I'm trying to figure out a way to both like make the really cool artsy videos that I want to make and then also make stuff people want to watch. And these two things sometimes feel incompatible. So it's a matter of like finding that medium that really works for me and that both like is fulfilling for me to make and like the audience is interested in. And that's a you know, a big overarching problem that a lot of people encounter all the time that like you're probably going to be facing like for the rest of your life in some respect for your time on the platform. So I don't feel like bad about being in that situation. I don't feel like there's not a solution that I will eventually find that will be happy for me, like that will be like good for me. Yeah, like I have felt boxed in. I have felt like there is a certain kind of video that is really well for me, but also it's not necessarily a bad thing. I would like it if like all of my videos were to be 1 out of 10s and do like, you know, amazing and like get like hundreds of thousands of views, but like also that's not necessarily sustainable or realistic, even as much as I would like it to be, and as much as sponsors seem to think that it is just like the best possible thing. I disagree, but like I don't know. I'm still of two minds about it. I could still see myself like splitting things up and posting vlogs on a separate channel and doing it that way. Like I don't feel like I have a firm answer on that problem yet. I'm still like kind of in the middle of it right now where I'm trying to find like a format that works really well for me. Yeah, it's just like tough when you get like hate comments about not like posting your art enough, but then you can post your art and it doesn't get like nearly as many views as like your video's not on that topic, and it's like, what do you want? So yeah, I mean, like I have felt like a little bit frustrated with my audience in some respects, like because of that problem. But like at the end of the day, like I need to make videos that like they are interested in, and there are many ways for me to do that that aren't necessarily to talk about business stuff. But yeah, that is the long answer.
What about you, Katie? How have you been dealing with that? Like, do you feel boxed in at all?
I don't particularly feel boxed in. I do like see like some videos doing better than others, like on specific topics. Like that 1 out of 10 thing kills me like every single time. Every time like I watch a video, I'm always like looking at it. I'm like, is it going to be 1 out of 10? No, it's 10 out of 10. Oh no, like what am I going to do? Yeah. But no, I really try my best to make videos that like I really, really want to make. So if that makes my channel like a little bit chaotic sometimes, like I am okay with that. Like I try to experiment with other topics. I try to do how-to sometimes. I try to do like daily vlogs sometimes, or like vlogging in general. But I like just try to keep it as much of me of it, like as much, it's not a sentence, as much of
like
me like in it, yeah, as possible. And I think that's what works for me. I do sometimes am like very discouraged when I think a video is going to do well and it doesn't, or like I have like a great idea. I'm like, this is going to be like the best video ever, and it's like flops.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard not to like put that in your head and be like, okay, I'm going to do this video now, like because people want to watch it. But yeah, I just try my best not to think about it too much and just try to keep making videos that like I want to see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I highly recommend, it's called the Goodbye Metrics Chrome extension. You can just like hide everything in the Career Studio if you want to on YouTube. You can be like, I don't want to see my comments. I don't want to see the view count. I don't want to see like if they're rating. I want to hide everything in the dashboard view and even like on YouTube itself. So that's been nice. I've been using that a lot lately. Like I feel like my community is best on my Discord server. My YouTube comments tend to be all over the place. Like I tend to get like really amazing comments and really like terrible comments. And so like it's a wild mix, whereas like my Discord server is like a much more welcoming, chatty place, and it's nice to like actually be able to get to the people that watch my videos like in a more casual setting. Like we'll talk about like the randomest stuff, like our favorite movies and like bed bugs and like, you know, like what we watched like in the past week, like on TV and like stuff like that. And, like that's nice. I enjoy that. And it's always good to have like that more intimate relationship with your community that I feel like you lose as you get larger and larger of like a creator. So anyway, Al, do you have any closing thoughts?
Just thank you so much for coming, Katie. Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, like we love you and your art. I hope that we can all be art friends after this. It was so great to get to know you. I had so much fun. I love, like my favorite part about this podcast is getting to meet people and like making connections.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you guys. I had such a great time. Like, I feel like I could talk about this like for hours and hours,
Same.
and I don't have like people in real life, but like are YouTubers, so it's like really cool to be able to chat with you guys. And yeah, it was really cool hearing your thoughts and like seeing a face to the screen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, like I said, thank you so much for being here. And to all the listeners, go check Katie out on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon.
Don't forget to like it on YouTube, subscribe, and or rate us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you're listening to right now. And with that, we will see you in the next episode, which will come out hopefully next week. Sometime. No promises. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.